Hi everybody, my name is Jo with Jo Wise Leadership, and today we're going to have a bit of a chat about giving yourself a break. So Facebook is heading off at getting us an audience and finding us an audience, and so we can just chill out here for a couple of minutes while some people come on. So I hope everything's going well today. It's a beautiful sunny day in Melbourne today. Hi Natalie, nice to have you on this morning. It's such a beautiful day this morning here. I've got sunshine everywhere. Thank you for the love. Good morning, Helen. Fabulous to see you. Hope you've all got your nice cup of coffee. I've just been having my chai this morning. Today I wanted to... Good morning, Annette. Nice to see you. Okay, sorry, I'm just getting some messages popping up and I'm not sure what you're writing and what is coming from Facebook. So... tap to invite her to join your video. I got this weird message that says, Helen is viewing your video now. Tap to invite her to join your video as a guest. Well, you're welcome to, Helen. Okay, so hi everybody. Good morning, Natalie. Nice to see you all. Thanks for coming along this morning. Today I'm just going to have a bit of a chat about giving yourself a break. Now, as I said, I'm all for holidays, absolutely, but unfortunately most of us can't go on holidays every single day. So this is giving yourself a different type of a break. Good morning, Leah. Look, over the last couple of weeks, I had a chat with one of my clients who is a fabulous, fabulous woman. And during the discussions that we were having, something came up a couple of times about this course that she had joined. So she'd joined like a 2-year qualification or 2-year course, and she'd finished pretty much the course, but hadn't done the assessments that were required. Hi, Sam. Hi, Leah. And so she was actually, you could tell in her language and the way she was speaking that she was giving herself a really hard time about this. She'd enjoyed the course. She'd done all of the courses, like the training that she'd needed to do. She'd done, all of the listening information. She'd been an awesome student. She just hadn't finished the qualifications at the end. And it was interesting because she was giving herself a really hard time about this and saying, this is just another example of where I haven't finished something and so on. So of course, as a coach, I called her on that and I'm like, let's talk about that, and we had a bit of a chat about, what she was like, the negativity that she was saying, and she was saying to herself about this. And we talked about what she'd actually got out of the course. Well, and the purpose that she did the course. The reason she did the course was to get the skills and the knowledge from the course. She's not one of these people that needs to get a qualification and put up on her wall. She's got a couple of degrees. She doesn't have the qualifications on her wall. So that's really important to some people, but she's not one of those people. So she got everything she needed from this course, everything, and she hadn't completed the qualification. That was pretty much it. She was giving herself such a tough time about this. But when we had a talk about it, she realized, you know what? She really did have everything she needed. And so why give herself a hard time about this? So through our discussion, she decided, you know what? She's going to give herself a break on this. Whether she goes off now and decides at some stage in the future to finish the qualification is totally up to her. But it was kind of just through the discussions and thinking about it and for her to be willing to see it from a different perspective that she was able to get a bit more clarity around this. And she was also able to stop giving herself a hard time in another area of her life. And it's interesting because this is something that we quite often do. We'll get a thing in our head like, I haven't finished, I committed to this and I haven't finished it. Well, actually she had done everything that she wanted to get out of it. She just hadn't done the qualification bit, which wasn't important to her anyway. So I was really stoked for her, and of course she was very, very happy about this because she can get off the call and then move on, moving herself forward and focusing on the things that are really going to help her rather than what she was doing, which is giving herself a hard time and focusing on the stuff that was holding her back. So everybody's happy. Now, interestingly enough, at 4 o'clock this morning, I woke up and I wasn't planning to wake up. It was one of those moments where I woke up at 4:30 and I was like in a bit of a panic because yesterday I'd advertised an event that I'm going to do, one of my Rise and Thrive events, which we ran last year, and they were just amazing. And I selected a date for this ages ago, and I advertised it yesterday, and I did all the copy for it and everything. It's all up ready to go. And then I realized at 4 o'clock this morning that that event is in less than 2 weeks. Now, usually I would organize an event a month in advance because there's actually a lot to do. You know, there's a lot of, you know, the marketing and sales stuff behind the scenes. There's also, you know, leading up to it, of course, got to do a very important stuff like buy champagne and organize great coffee for the night and things like that. Of course, very super important, but there's actually a lot to do. Now, what I do is, in the past, what I used to just do is just push through, because you know what? Of course, I can just work harder and I'll be able to achieve this in the next couple of weeks. Morning, Helen, and thank you for the love and the thumbs up, everybody. So, woke up at 4:30. I was like a bit panicky about, oh my God, I've got this event in like less than 2 weeks. I've got all this work to do. And my old habits where they're tapping on my shoulder going, it's cool, Joe. Just push harder. Just work harder. You'll be fine. You can do this. Because I'm one of these people that can push through really easily. And in fact, it's easier for me to work harder and push through than it is to slow down and take the heat off, yeah? So in that moment, my brain started going, yeah, you do this, you need to do this, and started to do a little bit of that, and all of the stuff I needed to do within the next few days to make sure that this would happen. And then suddenly I thought to myself, no, hang on. I'm all in my head. So right there in bed at 4 o'clock in the morning, I was like, okay, take a couple of deep breaths. And I felt my awareness drop down, which is something I talk about a lot, and drop down into my power center, down into like my intuition. And I just started to breathe gently. And then suddenly I got this question in my mind, which was, what would you do, Joe, if you weren't pushing so hard? And I was like, oh, well, if I wasn't pushing so hard for this event and pushing, you know, and working so hard for it, I'd probably push it out a couple of weeks. And then, of course, came the, oh, but you can't do that because you've committed to this and you've decided to do this and you've put the advertising up, and all of this stuff starts to go through my mind. And I'm like, no, take a breath. What would I do if I wasn't pushing so hard? What I'd do is I'd push it out a couple of weeks. And then with all of those questions that I had going through my mind, I suddenly got just this word, wherever it comes from, my intuition or whatever, was just trust. So I thought to myself, okay, so that's it. I'm going to change the date of my event. I'm going to move it forward to probably like the second week of March. And I'm going to redo the advertising this morning. It's not going to take much of a big deal. And this way, I'll actually be able to enjoy the lead up to the event. I know that's going to create space for even more amazing women to be in the room with me. And I'll trust and work my butt off, but not so hard, you know. I will trust that it's all going to work out and that it's okay that I'm going to move this date. So I kind of find this interesting because, as I said before, you know, I'm one of these people that can push hard. You know, I can work hard and I can push through stuff. That's pretty easy for me. You know, that's what I grew up seeing. My parents, farmers, yeah, they work so hard. Yet when I push and drive things and force things, it hurts. You know, it eventually hurts us, you know, because we get run down, we get exhausted. And when I'm in that state, I know I'm not being present with my family, my friends. I know I'm not able to be spontaneous and fun. That's the thing I really noticed, is when I'm in that stressed out place where I can push and everything, I'm not much fun. And I'm fun and I like to be fun. So I like to get back to that place. And I can only get back to that place when I give myself a bit of a break. Start to be kinder to myself. And that's what it's all about, yeah? Because what is the point in us pushing hard and shoving and driving all of this stuff all of the time if we're not going to be having any fun? So I was just wondering where you might be pushing harder than necessary, or you might be giving yourself a really tough time at the moment. And I'm wondering, if you shifted the focus on that just a little bit, what would shift for you? Because all I needed to do was think about my event in a different way. I didn't think about it, I felt about my event in a different way, so I used my intuition. But what we focus on, right, is what we get evidence of. So I was focusing on my event, that it was really close and I was running out of time. So I changed the date, and now I've got time to enjoy it. My client was not thinking about how fabulous she was for doing all of the work within her 2-year course within a really short period of time, using the skills, being able to take those skills to her workplace and benefit her team members, her bosses, her job, and also that ripples out into her life as well. She was focusing on that she hadn't got the qualification. So she shifted her focus. She's way happier with it, and she can actually move on to the things that she does want to be focusing on right now, instead of wasting energy and leaking energy and focus on crap that is not moving her forward. So there you have it. I am running an event, and it's all about core confidence, and it's in March. Now, I'm going to put the dates up for that later on. I've just got to change the dates on the sales page, and I would love you to come along. Look, I work with professional women. Thanks, Leah. Great advice and love your trust and power. Thank you. I work with professional women leaders, and this month or in March, we're going to be doing an event on core confidence, because even women like, me and the clients that I work with, which are high achievers, they like to get great results. But generally, we can push really, really hard. Quite often when we want to get our results, if we're not getting them, we focus on working harder rather than some of the other areas of our lives, like building our confidence up, looking after ourselves, being kind to ourselves, all of those things that really count and really matter. So I'll add the event into the notes later on. So let me know if you're interested. I'd love to see you join. And please have a fabulous day. Be kind to yourself and give yourself a break today. Speak to you soon.